Adventurers. So you're planning your ultimate summer camping trip this year in Western Canada? Today we're diving into the best campgrounds you need to know or how to find them in British Columbia and Alberta that fits your needs the best. So from understanding essential tips and also the different types of campgrounds, we've got you covered. So grab your maps, let's get started on this 10-minute guide to camping in Western Canada. And before we head straight into the nitty-gritty stuff of today's topic, I need to make a little disclaimer with you. Meaning, I'm not a local, I don't live in Western Canada, and that means that I haven't been to all the places that I talk about in my videos, but I do this from my home in Switzerland, driven by my passion to find lesser known spots and also to give everybody that wants to see this beautiful country, give some good inside tips based on the experience I gathered over the years. And also, since my channel is in English and it's not my mother tongue, my videos may not be perfect. So I appreciate your understanding and support as I continue to improve. It's key, and that's the first thing we want to talk about it today. So campgrounds in Western Canada typically are open for reservations in January, February, some even in March for the upcoming summer seasons. And for BC, for example, the reservations usually open in early January or February, while Alberta parks often starts in February. As one would say, the early bird catches the worm, or in this case, the campsite. What you need to do before you start is to make a list or have an idea of your broad route where you want to go, what you want to see, and check all the campsites that are along your route so that you are know and have an idea when you need to set the dates in your calendar when you need to book the campsites. As you might know, popular campsites may be gone much earlier in the reservation process, meaning they can fill up quite easily, especially for long weekends and peak summer month. So, as I said, set reminders in your calendar to be sure that you don't miss out any of the dates. And what's also important to know, some parks even have the first come, first serve policy. Who's there first gets a site first. And some campgrounds, you need to be aware of that you get there early enough when you travel. And that also means they get filled very easily and very fast. So you need to have a plan B in the case you won't get a site at your dream location. And what you need to do, that's my personal tip for you, is to use some travel planner apps and itinerary builders to help you build your trip and your itinerary much easier and more efficient. If you want to learn more about that, check one of my videos I made about itinerary planners that also uses AI. My favorites are Wanderlog, Road Trippers, and My Trip. And if you have any questions, just ask me in the comments below or get on my page. That's also linked in the description below. To contact me, I even can help you. And that is, research is your friend. It is important that you're going to do your homework. Meaning, as I mentioned before, when you have a broad idea of a route, research the campgrounds you're interested in. Look for reviews, amenities, and nearby attractions. Then also check websites like Parks Canada, BC Parks and Alberta Park, or Camp Spots, TripAdvisor, Google, HipCamp. Those are all great resources for official information. Additionally, check out camping forums on social media groups like in Facebook for real experiences from fellow campers. And it's anyway a great idea to interact with these because you might get some great ideas and tips out of these groups. So when you're researching, pay attention to campground facilities, showers, toilet, water sources, nearby hiking trails and attractions. What is the wildlife in the area and the necessary precautions you need to take And also, what are the fire regulations and current fire bans? As we all know, Western Canada, the fire season is in the middle of the summer, and there might be restrictions that you can't make any campfire at all. So, really pay attention to it and inform yourself beforehand before you travel. Then, next thing is cell phone coverage. At certain places, you won't have any coverage at all, so you need to be aware of. But some campgrounds might offer you some Wi Fi, so you still can be connected if that is necessary for you. And then, last but not least, what you need to look at is the type of campground you want or you're looking for. There are campgrounds with full hookup, no hookup, some hookup, and that is a preference you need to define for yourself. What is important for you when you travel? Even with a camper or with a tent, doesn't matter, but that might be of huge importance. And next up, I'll show you and give you some ideas while scrolling through the page how you can find good campsites, how I look for them and how I find them, and some tricks and tips that you can use, and also the approach and the process I take to find these
As
spots.
we talked before, research is your friend. Here on the map, I'm going to show you how I found some of the most beautiful and nicest campground that fitted our needs and expectation the most. Meaning we had different points we wanted to have, like laundry, amenities like a bathroom, then having a full hookup site at the campground, nice view, perfect for families, this kind of stuff. And it's also important to know the differences in camping experience you need to expect. For instance, if you're planning to camp in Backcountry, you need to be prepared to have a proper food storage and maybe a bear spray. So you need to consider all of these points. But first, now we're gonna start with how I find the camping spots. In my case, I planned a travel itinerary for a customer last year and was also similar to ours, where we said we want to have a trip in Western Canada. We went to BC in our case, and we defined the travel route that way that we started in Vancouver, went all the way to Kelowna, over to the cusp in this area, and then we knew we had to turn back. We went and visited our family up here in Horsefly, and then we knew we had to get back down. So we already had a quite broad knowledge of how our route will look like. And for the customer, we planned the trip last year. It was similar. They knew they didn't want to go as far as Banff and Jasper, as they have seen it already. They wanted to get to lesser known places that are also family friendly and where the kids can swim. So I went, in my case, I usually use Google or TripAdvisor. What I did, I knew I wanted to go to the cusp because beforehand I did some research and found out that there are some beautiful hot springs. So what I did is I enter campground, the cusp, pressed enter, and then it shows you right away on the map the various campgrounds that are in the area. And what I do then is I check the campgrounds spot by spot. For instance, I see Burton Historical Park Campground. Oh, great, that has some nice reviews. But I want to do a bit of a deep dive. I want to see if those reviews are really as good as they look. So, first, that's the first thing I do. I'll check the more newest reviews because that's the one you can count on the most, in my view. And then you scroll through to see 5 months ago, that was early fall time, late summer, that you already get a hint, an idea. Okay, that looks quite good. The reviews are good and sincere, because otherwise you would have seen immediately some bad reviews already. So what I do next then is to see how the campground looks. In my case, I would go to see the pictures of the campground, because that gives you already a good idea how close the sites can be to each other, how much stacked it can be during summertime when the campgrounds are usually filled the most. And also get a good idea if they're are some scenic spots around. And you see immediately here, wildlife is predominant here as well. So you probably need to do some precautions for wildlife. And you see, it looks quite nice. And then what I want to do is visit the homepage because I want to know how the campsites look like in the sense of map, what amenities are out there. You see, you have a toilet, bathroom, playground, hiking trails, showers. I want to know if there's a laundry. I don't see that on the map right away, but what I see is have the rates for each campsites. Then what I want to know where and when I need to reserve the spots, what is the best time, and also what you need to know. Maybe on the homepage, there's some more information. You have some FAQs. You see how to find us, and I want to know what are the regulations. So it isn't mentioned here. That's why I'm gonna show you another spot, which I only can advise to book. It's a perfect spot. We have been there and has some great reviews. And I did the same procedure there. I looked, okay, what are the sites and prices? And you immediately see that's a beautiful spot. The sites are a bit different there in the sense of you are closer to each other, but still it is a super beautiful site and campground. You have different types of sites. The ones too close to the water, as far as I know, have less services, meaning it doesn't have a full hookup. You can book now and then see what is there available. You have an overview of the amenities that is there, and you get also an idea how the campsites are allocated. And you have also here the policies, which are important that you always need to read through so that you know what are you allowed of and what not. And this procedure you can do with every spot on the list. And there are some campgrounds, I think further up close to Revelstock, that should be shown as well. I want to show you. Yeah, there you go. Blanket Creek Provincial Park. At these places, you usually have campgrounds that are managed by British Columbia. So this is a campsite from a provincial park campground. So you have less amenities there. You need to be aware of. You might get a more secluded spot with more privacy, less crowded, but on the other hand, you have less amenities around, less services. So just a need to know thing when you plan your travel that you
We
count.
are already on the third point on the list. So you need to know what to look for, meaning when choosing a campground, consider what matters most for you. As I mentioned before, might be the type of services the campground offers, from toilets and laundry and you name it, what type of hookup you want and need, then its proximity to hiking trails or access to water or quiet spots away from the crowds. You might be thinking of making a checklist for you with all the things you need to have. So, some factors you need to consider are the size of the site, depending if you have it or coming with a tent or an RV or a trailer. Are you looking for a secluded spot or a more social atmosphere? I come to that right in a second. In hot summer month, a shaded site can be make a big difference in comfort. Then what are the proximity to other amenities, like you want to be close to washrooms or you want to be further away, but therefore you would have more privacy. Then level ground is another topic, especially if you're traveling with an RV or a trailer. Then would you like to have scenic views? Like some sites offer very stunning vistas of mountain, lakes, forests, seas, and most often those campsites they have no service at all. So you need to be aware of that these campsites are most often provincial campgrounds where you won't get any hookup at all. You might have a toilet or some fresh water or bathroom that might be there, but need to be aware. So you can't have everything. And then of course, which and what type of campground do you prefer? Depends if you're traveling with an RV or with a tent, for example. And what you need to remember, perfect campsite can enhance your outdoor experience massively and makes a huge difference how well you think your holidays were, your camping holidays. And if you have any specific questions, don't hesitate to contact the parks offices or the campground owners or write an email, especially if you're in a different time zone like we are in Switzerland, to ask your questions if you're uncertain what you need to do, what you need to be aware of, and other stuff, of course. So I touched this already several times in this video. So you need to understand the different types of campgrounds that are out there. We have first on the list the Frontcountry campgrounds. These are the most common and accessible type of campgrounds. They are usually reachable by car and offer basic amenities like a pit, toilets, flush toilet, picnic tables, and fire pits. And many front country campgrounds in BC and Alberta also offer portable water, shower facilities, electrical hookups, or sunny stations at the site for RVs. And they usually have nearby hiking trails and they use areas. Like you are able to rent a canoe or a boat, or you can go fishing right at the campground, where you can also get a license for the day for fishing. Second, we have backcountry campgrounds. These are campgrounds for the more adventurous travelers out there, and backcountry camping offers a true wilderness experience, as these sites are typically accessible only by hiking, paddling, or horseback riding. In places like Jasper or the Garibaldi Provincial Park, you'll find designated backcountry campsites on the web. And they have basic amenities like pit toilets, food storage lockers, but they don't have any road access, and it's a more immersive experience in the nature. So, third type, we have equipped camping. So, some parks in BC and Alberta offer equipped camping options, perfect for those that are new to camping or are without their own gear. And these might include pre set up tents or yurts called glamping, basic camping equipment, and it's a great way to try camping without the investment in gear. But at most of these places, you need to bring some of your own stuff, like sleeping bags or cooking utensils and stuff. So it's still a great way to get into camping without bringing all the stuff. Of course, the more easier, relaxing camping experience would be with an RV or a trailer. And as mentioned before, for those that want to travel with an RV, that's the fourth type of camping in Western Canada. Both provinces, Alberta and BC, offers numerous RV-friendly campgrounds with full hookups, pull-through sites for larger vehicles, and they have on-site amenities like laundry facilities. Some have Wi-Fi, bathrooms, so you really can have everything in full luxury if you need to and want to. And then in both provinces, there's the option to camp on crown land, which is public land, and is permitted in many areas. This type of camping is often free, but comes with responsibilities. So there are no amenities provided. They have a pack in, pack out policy. Some places need a camping pass, so check that beforehand. Then there is a strict adherence to leave no trace principle. And as said before, it's really crucial to inform yourself beforehand if you want to camp or plan on crown land. And overall, sixth point on the list, BC offers some fantastic oceanfront camping opportunities like this in the Pacific Rim National Park Reserve, or on the other side in Nanaimo, for example, which has a extraordinarily beautiful camping site next to the sea. On the other hand, Alberta's Badlands provide a one-of-a-kind camping experience, such as in the Dinosaur Provincial Park. So, remember, each type of campground has its own set of rules and reservation systems. Always check the specific park's websites for the most up-to-date information, and also the respective websites for privately owned campgrounds to be informed, and also read through the, the rules and restrictions on the campgrounds, because some of them, especially on the privately held campgrounds, have a restriction in place that you're not allowed to smoke, for example. The fifth tip I can give you guys, finding the best spots, is to engage with. So that means to engage with fellow campers. Like I've mentioned in the beginning, online forums and social media groups are great places to ask questions and share your experiences. You might even discover a hidden gem or two from other campers. Join a Facebook group dedicated to camping in BC. Then participate in outdoor recreation forums. There are even dedicated groups for hikers in BC and Alberta. Follow the park specific social media accounts for up to dates and tips, especially if you think of fires in the area you want to travel. And also check beforehand in the forums which outdoor gear you need for your specific travel. So remember, the camping community is generally very friendly and always eager to share their advices and stories. So don't be shy asking for help or recommendations. So to wrap it up, here are the 5 tips again that I've mentioned in this video. So first, plan ahead. Make sure which route you want to take, mark your dates in the agenda, make sure that you get a reminder and are in time to book the campsites at the right time so that you don't miss out. Then second, research is your friend, meaning find the best spots along your route that fits your needs the best. And if you need help with that, you have many options where you can ask people or get the help of someone like me that it can help you out and help building you the itinerary. Third tip is you need to know what you want and what you need to look for. So what is important for you? What amenities you need. For families, it might be different than for an adventurous couple, for example. And do you need nice scenic views, or do you need more privacy, and this kind of stuff? Fourth on the list, we have the different type of campgrounds that you need to understand. So are you looking for front country camping, where you have much more amenities? Are you looking for an immersive experience in the nature? So is it something where you want to have a backcountry experience? Are you plan to camp on ground land, or want to use some of the RV parks? So make sure that you know what you want again, so that you know beforehand when you plan your holidays that you book the right things. And then of course engage with the community, either locally at the campsites, and also beforehand when you do your research to get into groups about camping, best RV parks, or hiking. There are hiking groups on Facebook or Reddit, for example, that you engage with these, that you might get some ideas and tips along the way. Let's wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this guide has given you some comprehensive overview of camping and some ideas what you need to pay attention to when planning your camping trip in Western Canada. So on one hand, you have the coastal beauty of BC, or the majestic Rockies in Alberta, or even the Badlands that are also an experience in itself. So there's an incredible world of camping experiences waiting for you to be discovered. So remember, when you're pitching a tent in a front country campground, embarking on a backcountry adventure, or enjoying the comforts of an RV park, the key to a great camping trip is preparation and the respect for nature. Always leave the spots the way you want to see them or want to get them. So nobody wants to sleep in a mountain of garbage, for example. I know it's a bit exaggerated example, but you know what I mean. Coming to the end, if you found these tips helpful, give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more travel inspiration. And remember, best adventures are the ones that you plan well. And unfortunately, in today's world, camping isn't the way it was. So, meaning you need to plan and can't be that much spontaneous anymore as it was a few years ago. So, nonetheless, I wish you happy camping. I bet you're gonna enjoy it, and it will be a superb experience. And maybe we'll see and meet each other the next time in Canada at one of the camping spots. So, happy traveling, and if you plan to travel this year, I wish you great holidays and enjoy the great Canadian wilderness. Talk to you soon. Goodbye.